Great to see you here. My name is Luc de Ceuster, founder of the Ceuster Academy, and this is a new video from the Math Survival Guide. In this video, I will look into some new examples of rational numbers, a little bit more complex than the previous ones, and we are going to try to find the numerator and the denominator that define these rational numbers. But before continuing, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and whenever we have a new video, we will inform you about it. So let's have a look. So the first rational number, or the complex exercise that we're going to consider, is 2.3737. Here we have 3 repeating decimals, and basically this is going to help us to identify A and B. Now we have to move the decimal point just behind the first set of repeating decimals. So in this case, we have to multiply with 1000. And we find 1002 is 2373.373,373,373. And we subtract Q, which is 2.373373. And we see that in this case, we find on the left-hand side 9,999Q, and on the right-hand side 2,371. And we see that all the decimals have disappeared. Now the next thing we do is to say that Q is equal to 2,371 divided by 999. Now we can continue here, and what we have to do is to find the simplest form. And in order to do that, we will write the numbers as products of prime numbers. We're going to factorize them. And for 999, we find that this is 3 times 3 times 3 times 37. You will see these are the numbers that we will be repeating many times in many exercises. So basically we have the first one. Now the second one, the 2371, is basically prime. So if you try to find you try to factorize 2371, you will see that this is basically a prime number. You can find it when you Google and you say, is this number a prime number? You can immediately find out if the number is large, if it's a prime number or not, to avoid all the calculations. But in this case, it is a prime number, so we can say that Q is equal to 2371 divided by 999. And when we do the control calculation, we find that this is correct. Let's now have a look at another exercise. We have 45.37423742, and we find here that we have 4 repeating decimals. So we have to multiply with 10,000, and we find 453,742.37423742. Now we subtract Q from this, and we find basically on the left-hand side 9,999 times Q is equal to 453,697. When we write Q as a division, we can say that Q is 453,697 divided by 9,999. The same thing has to be done here. We have to write this, or we can write Q here, and we have to find the factorized form of these numbers. For 453,697, we see that this is a product of 2 prime numbers, 79 multiplied with 5,743. And for 9,999, we can say this is 3 times 3 times 11 times 101. And we find that we have a division of 79 multiplied with 5,743 divided by 3 times 3 times 3 times 11 times 101. And basically, we cannot go further here. So this is the final result. And we can say that the numbers A and B are basically 453,697 divided by 9,999. And those are two integers, so this is compliant with the definition of the rational number. So we have A and B. For A is 453,697 and B is 9,999. Now let's have a variant on this number. And I say now that I have 45.321742174. And what we see, we have here 4 repeating decimals. So we have to multiply with 10,000. Let's do that. So we find here 10,000 times Q is 453,217.421742174. And we subtract Q from this number, and we find finally on the left-hand side, we have 9,999Q. And on the right-hand side, we have 453,172.1. And that number is not an integer. So basically what we have to do, we have to multiply this number by 10 or multiplying both sides by 10. So let's have a look what this gives us. So we have the numbers again here, and now we multiply both sides with 10. We multiply the numerator and the denominator with 10, so we can keep the equality. And we see that we have 4,531,721 divided by 99,990. Again, we can write these as products of prime numbers, so the numerator can be written as 331 times 13,691. The denominator can be written as 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 11 times 101. So we have basically the 9,999, and we multiplied it with 10, and 10 is factorized as 2 times 5. So we have the factorization of 9,990 and the factorization of 10. Now, when we look at those numbers, we see that we cannot simplify anything, and basically the two integers that we have are 4,531,721 divided by 99,990. So this was a more complex exercise. But let's have a look how we can do this from the beginning. Now we can do this also in a different way. And what we can do, or what we better do, is to change the start of the repetition. So we move, before we start looking at the solution, we move the decimal point just behind or to the right until we reach the start of the first repetition. And this is, in this case, moving the decimal point one place to the right, which means multiplication by 10. So 10Q is then 453.21742174. And we see that on the right-hand side of the decimal point, we only have the repeating decimals, but we have 10 times Q, and we have to be careful here. So basically, we have again 4 repeating decimals, and we have to multiply by 10,000. But we have to multiply 10Q with 10,000. This means that we have here 100,000 times Q, and we subtract the adjusted value of Q, 10 times Q, and we find 4,531,721. On the left-hand side, we find 99,990 Q, and on the right-hand side, we find 4,531,721. And this gives us Q as a division of proportion of two integers, where we have in the numerator 4,531,721, and in the denominator 99,990. So basically, when we verify this, this is the same number that we had before. So that was it for this new video about rational numbers, how to find the two integers A and B that define these rational numbers. And with this, we can in fact find the solution we see in this more complex case, in the last case, where we see that the repetition or the repeating decimals are not starting just behind the decimal point, but that there is another decimal in front, and we have to move the decimal point until it's in front of the repeating decimals. So in this case, we have to multiply by 10. Now, that was it for this video. Anyway, before leaving, before stopping watching this video, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.